When did you first meet Tony Yayo? Have you known him since you were a kid? Yeah, I've known Tony Yayo since I was a kid. Yeah. He was in this underground group called Rags to Riches. Well, they weren't signed yet, but they were doing their thing. Rags to Riches. It was him, Fat Shah, also known as DJ Rough Hands, rest in peace, and my guy Gaddafi, rest in peace. They called him Huey P. Do you remember how you guys actually met? Did you go to school together? No, we didn't go to school together. Yayo is like 10 years older than me. We met out on the block, out on 134th Street. Okay, so these were like your big homies that you looked up to? They were older, but I never looked up to them, ever, in my life. This artist, Domination, had us completely glued to our screens during a wild interview with Cameron. From the very beginning, he was laying out crazy stories about 50 Cent and G-Unit, bringing up everything from the legendary rumor about Tony Yayo allegedly getting slapped, to intense discussions about the infamous shooting of 50 Cent and the wild theories surrounding it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, because this interview instantly went viral, leaving hip-hop fans replaying clips and debating every single detail online. Look, you don't really want a problem. I don't think you do. But when they say they want smoke, I say no problem. That is it. It makes folks think I'm looking for trouble just because I don't back down. One specific moment that really grabbed our editorial team's attention was when they brought up Tony Yayo, being labeled as a respected big brother figure in the streets. Domination looked completely skeptical, like he could not comprehend why anyone would view him that way. His reaction immediately caught us off guard, since Yayo has built a decades-long reputation as an incredibly loyal and solid figure in the industry. For years, we rarely saw his name dragged into messy public drama or reputation-damaging stories, which made Domination's comments feel like a total curveball. Many of us are wondering what caused this harsh reaction and why he seemed so bothered by Yayo having that legendary status. Drop a like if you agree. Things got even more heated when Domination started speaking on his personal history with 51 Cent, a beef that we all remember as being loaded with absolute chaos and drama. If you don't know, you should definitely do some research, because these legendary street stories are still heavily debated. What would you say was your wildest moment growing up there? My wildest situation? Let me think. Man, I don't think we can talk about that on camera. Seriously. So, there was this one time we were on the block, and a guy walked by with his girl, and they had to walk past a huge crowd because our block was flooded back then. It is not like that today, but we would have 20 or 30 guys standing around, and when he walked past, someone chucked a packet of duck sauce right at his head. Looking back, it was kind of childish, but everyone was laughing. I wasn't really feeling it, but that was just one situation. But, so what happened after that? I mean, what could he really do against 20 or 30 guys? 20 or 30 people. What is he going to do? Honestly, it was just straight up bullying, so I had zero respect for it. But yeah, that was one of the wild moments, but there were far worse things, like dice games. Tony Yayo was at this one game, shooting dice, and when he left, he got slapped. Guns got drawn. It was like the wild, wild west. Now, before we move past the Tony Yayo talk, Domination dropped another viral rumor that has been circulating for years, claiming Yayo got slapped during that dice game. But our team noticed he didn't just repeat it, he questioned if it even made sense. His point was simple. When you ask a rapper to share their craziest street experience, you expect a shocking, life-altering story, not something that sounds relatively tame. He joked that throwing sauce at a guy's head won't make headlines. Remember to like this video? Rough Riders actually had a studio in his basement. It was a makeshift setup, but we made it work. That is where 50 Cent would record his early music. He says it was his own deal, completely separate from them. They were just neighborhood kids, recording tracks as the 134 All-Star. But our team uncovered a specific moment he remembered involving a rising local artist named Storm P. If you want more legendary stories like this, hit subscribe. This happened right after 50 Cent got stabbed. He remembers being in the studio alongside Dre Product and Doc Intelligence, working right alongside a guy named Gangsta Lou from Linden. It was a relaxed atmosphere, where everyone was just hanging out. They were working on Mastermind. He confirms that Smurf was definitely in the room. In fact, Tony Yayo and Lloyd Banks were present too, though Banks had not yet built his famous brand. Back then, he went by Lazy Lloyd, and had no professional connection to 50 Cent just yet. From his perspective, everyday neighborhoods are full of intense street drama, making this event seem less like a myth. He questioned why this session became hip-hop folklore. As they waited, an artist stepped up named Storm P from the Baisley Projects. Our sources show he was later managed by Superstar J, though that remains unconfirmed today. Regardless, his talent was undeniable. He was working on a beat that he cannot recall, but the lyrics were unforgettable. They hit incredibly hard. He clearly remembers the line about dodging street potholes to protect expensive car rims, while the other guy was just dodging puddles to save his boots. It left him completely stunned. Storm P was only about 17 or 18 back then, a very young talent showing immense potential to everyone. He was absolutely delivering pure heat in the booth, right when 50 Cent suddenly walked into the recording studio. He heard the track and immediately demanded to know who made the beat, claiming he was taking it. Without bothering to ask the producer for his permission, 50 Cent simply declared that he was jumping right on the track. The engineers let him lay down his verse, and 50 recorded his now famous line about rumors of him getting arrested and stabbed. He dared the streets to predict his next move, threatening to use a .44 Magnum to take out Ja Rule. He even joked that his child's mother would react more violently than any street rival. These revelations added serious fuel to an interview that was already generating massive buzz. Listeners are still debating what parts are factual and what is just revisionist history. Leave a comment with your thoughts. And don't forget to like this video as we analyze why this timeline seems so suspicious. The order of these historic events has raised red flags for many industry insiders. He questioned why the narrative unfolded this way. In his editorial view, if the Tony Yayo altercation truly went down the way people have claimed over the years, shouldn't that have been the very first story told? Why would anyone start with a minor studio disagreement before suddenly jumping into a much bigger saga? A story where Tony Yayo allegedly got slapped, sparking massive arguments and reports of weapons being drawn? He notes that Supreme's ties to Bay Ridge suggest his team operated from there too. While Supreme's origins are clear, he admits he lacks direct knowledge of the immediate aftermath. Our investigation cannot confirm if Supreme actually called 50 Cent directly, or what exactly was said behind closed doors. However, he vividly remembers returning to his neighborhood the very next day around 12 o'clock. Word quickly spread that 50 Cent had been shot, prompting everyone to rush to the back streets. The entire area was taped off, leading them to believe the rapper had not survived the attack. They assumed he was dead. This sudden escalation made the entire narrative feel incredibly bizarre. He continuously questions whether these timeline pieces actually connect the way they are being presented. He explains that his upbringing required constant vigilance and being prepared for anything. You must always stay ready rather than trying to get ready. In our analysis, if a street conflict was truly that unforgettable, it would be the first point of discussion. Any storyteller would naturally lead with their most shocking and dangerous experiences when recounting their history. Therefore, he continues to dissect this narrative, actively challenging the official version of events. These comments have sparked intense debate, hinting at a deeper truth hidden from fans for decades. What gives his critique real weight is his past history of working closely with both 50 Cent and Tony Yayo. If you want to see how this feud ends, subscribe now. They were once considered an unbreakable team. They ran in the same circle, but commentators note everything changed after some serious disagreements. It all started with a dispute over bail money, and the beef quickly escalated from there. For years, rumors swirled that 50 Cent refused to pay the bail, triggering a massive fallout. Once he got out of jail, their feud turned into an all-out war fans still discuss. Remember that Wild Hot 97 radio clash? Drop a like if you remember that historic moment, right? When I put it in reverse, he recalled, I saw a car coming, just trying to be considerate, but I assumed 50 saw it, he said. He did not say a word, but when I turned around, he said, asking who it was, and saw someone jumping out of that vehicle. 50 saw the car, he explained, but missed the guy getting out. That is what I mean. I asked if he recognized the guy, he added, but I was just waiting for any answer. I stepped up, he continued, and all I got was a blank look. So I went, oh no. As I turned, the shooting started, he said. In the panic, I forgot the car was in reverse. So when I hit the gas, expecting to zoom forward, I smashed right into their vehicle, he added. Instead, I flew backwards, he recalled, and slammed my head hard. I froze, he recalled. Yet, 50 claims he had not been hit by bullets yet. That was when the gunman, he noted, walked right around to our side. Then he opened fire on us, he said, while the girl in the back screamed to drive. That snapped me out of it, he concluded. I sped down the block straight to the hospital. Did you put the vehicle in reverse again? The interviewer asked, once you finally began to escape. Look, he replied, I just told you the car was in reverse. Let me explain it better. Let's analyze this testimony. Because he lived through that legendary era of hip-hop, you and I can see how some believe he knew secrets behind those famous rap rumors, interviews, and industry accounts. One of the biggest topics back then was 50 Cent's violent rivalry with Supreme and the chaotic events triggering their massive beef. At that stage, 50 was making massive waves in hip-hop, completely unafraid to challenge established rap legends. Wait, did things start to speed up then? The interviewer asked. Oh, yeah, now I see your point. Yeah, I did back up, he confirmed. After 50 told me he had a weapon on him. I did not want us getting shot, he explained. I see your point now. We actually had our own loaded firearms ready. Yes, we had firearms inside the vehicle, he added, fully planning to return fire at the shooter. But he was bleeding, he said, and the girl kept screaming at me to take him to the ER. So, I drove to the hospital, he recalled. I could not stand her screaming anymore. She was totally hysterical, he said. I had to let her out of the vehicle, so after she left, it was just me and 50, he said. Since I was not from Queens, I told him to stay awake, he recalled, and give me directions to the hospital, which he did. Were you injured too? The interviewer asked. I had absolutely no idea until we arrived at the hospital. Where exactly were you hit? The interviewer asked. A bullet went through my left hand. It was a clean exit wound, he said. You drove all that way without noticing the injury? No, I felt nothing, he replied. The adrenaline completely masked it. It cleanly pierced my flesh, feeling like nothing, he concluded. Around that wild era, 50 dropped. How? To rob. The track sent shockwaves through the rap industry because of its daring callouts. He challenged everyone, sparking debates. Hit subscribe to join our deep dives into hip-hop history. 50 Cent was a walking headline, climbing the music industry ranks at an unbelievable speed. His name became unavoidable. As we analyze his career, you and I see his sheer dominance. Yet, reports suggest he stepped into a highly dangerous situation without realizing the deep-rooted underworld connections involved. To himself, he was just an ambitious artist chasing hip-hop success. We are breaking down how this artist got on a buzzing record with people he already felt comfortable with. To us editors, everything looked normal on the surface, since many shared mutual connections and knew each other well. But our sources suggest behind-the-scenes drama was brewing even back then. We are tracking hidden tensions that weren't obvious. What looked like a routine collaboration carried massive weight, serious implications due to their tight circles. As we report, once those controversial lyrics leaked online and made waves, our team noticed the public immediately focused on these complex street relationships involved. News reports we've reviewed confirm that the artists on the track shared close ties to the exact same Queens neighborhoods tied to Ja Rule and his immediate camp. Through those networks. Once 50 Cent started dropping those lethal verbal shots, our sources say word traveled fast through the streets. We've learned that this highly sensitive information eventually landed with Ja Rule and Supreme, making this whole situation incredibly volatile. The artist involved scrambled to explain his position, trying to separate himself from the brewing drama. Our editorial team notes he was basically pleading, look, 50 Cent just hopped on this track and started talking crazy. I had no idea he was going to do that. Do not put that on me. We believe he wanted to establish that he never authorized those disses. Commentators who followed this closely know he faced immense pressure to guard his brand, knowing that without setting the record straight, the public would assume he greenlit those attacks on a song tied so closely to his own Queens associates. Following those frantic calls, our editorial team believes things turned incredibly dangerous behind closed doors. While we still debate the finer points, rap historians view that moment as the definitive turning point in this legendary feud. Reports show that hostilities between the camps boiled over, pushing the entire New York rap scene into a dangerous war zone. Intense. Today, you and I are seeing fans argue that hip-hop veterans are spilling more industry secrets than ever, dragging classic feuds right back into the spotlight, sparking fierce new debates. Our feed is flooded with fans shocked by how openly these topics are discussed. especially since the conversation focuses directly on dangerous street history and heavy rap, beefs tied to icons like 50 Cent. This viral interview is blowing up because it revisits incidents that our editors classify as the most volatile, high-stakes moments in hip-hop history. One major detail that stood out to our team was the reminder that 50 Cent's shooting was a very real federal case discussed for decades. Our audience is still actively debating the circumstances surrounding that crime. And the crazy engagement these stories get proves to us editors just how deeply those stories resonate today. Consequently, many viewers felt highly uneasy hearing those old, long, debated claims dragged back to light. We noted that during the broadcast, Domination made it clear that there were certain things he simply could not discuss. Yet, many of our listeners were left wondering why he opened this massive can of worms at all. We watched that question quickly become the #1 talking point in the hip-hop community. As the footage went completely viral, the conversation evolved. Our team is seeing a much larger debate emerge about how many hip-hop legends and old-school figures are turning to podcasts and media platforms to dig up history from decades ago. We see many fans who completely defend these tell-all interviews, arguing that those who lived through this raw history deserve to speak. Meanwhile, others on our forums strongly believe dangerous street situations are better left buried, especially with the serious real-world consequences they carry. Our comment section is completely split down the middle over this, so comment below. Some insiders argue that Domination's claims hold major weight since he was around during the early G-Unit crew and knew all the major players. To his supporters, this is not just cheap gossip, but a raw look at the street politics we've only heard whispers of for years. On the other hand, skeptics question if every single detail is accurate. What do you and I believe? Critics argue these claims sound overly dramatic, inconsistent, and clearly engineered to grab quick attention during a viral interview. Many hip-hop fans also notice this pattern, pointing out that old rap feuds and controversies always resurface whenever a major podcast episode starts gaining major traction online. As a result, this media coverage has shifted from one specific story to whether these old rap narratives should even be revisited in public at all. The timing of these revelations became a major talking point itself, and our viewers immediately started asking why these stories are coming out now instead of decades earlier. Even with all the controversy surrounding this interview, we can all agree on one thing. It reignited massive debates about one of the most intense eras in hip-hop history. The early 2000s were packed with intense rivalries, competition, and personal beefs that felt larger than life. For fans who lived through that golden era, hearing someone revisit these moments instantly brings back memories of a time when rap beefs were dead serious, unpredictable, and always dominated the headlines. Social media quickly exploded with reaction videos and heated comments. Every clip that surfaced sparked fresh outrage, with viewers debating every single claim. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. This interview stood out because of Domination's sheer composure. He appeared calm, confident, and comfortable, while addressing intense situations that many hip-hop fans view as legendary chapters of rap history. Since he did not seem hesitant, some viewers felt he genuinely believed everything he was saying, and that absolute confidence helped the clip go viral across the internet at lightning speed. At the same time, loyal supporters of 50 Cent pushed back, questioning the real motives behind this interview. Some argue that dragging up old G-Unit stories is just a desperate bid to chase clout and relevance. Hip-hop culture. Subscribe to our channel as we analyze why these accounts are only surfacing now, if they were truly as massive as he claims. Another fascinating detail that caught our attention was how Cameron handled the discussion. Instead of constantly interrupting, he let the host tell his story, naturally, giving the podcast a raw, unfiltered vibe that kept our viewers completely locked in. With each claim, more people are getting drawn into this hip-hop debate. Whether you believe him or not, everyone has a strong opinion. As more clips go viral, fans are digging through archive interviews, classic radio, beefs, old street DVDs, and vintage footage connected to the G-Unit era. People are comparing timelines, investigating old rumors, and hunting for clues that might prove or disprove these claims. The debate gets complicated because different people remember these events. differently, offering wildly clashing versions of history. Some listeners believe domination in finally exposing secrets that were never fully explained, while others feel these stories are being heavily exaggerated over time. Hit that like button if you agree, because this interview succeeded in bringing classic G-Unit history back to life, making it the hottest trending topic online. Others remain highly skeptical, believing that actual facts have been mixed with some serious fiction, turning these stories into something much bigger and more dramatic than the reality. That is why internet reactions are incredibly divided. While some believe every word, others are questioning specific parts and wondering if these details were stretched. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is trending once again because whenever old drama tied to his name resurfaces, hip-hop fans tune in immediately. Our team is also watching closely to see if anyone from the G-Unit camp will step up, challenge the claims, or ignore this entirely. Knowing 50 Cent and his legendary online trolling, we are definitely expecting some savage memes if these viral clips keep gaining major traction. One thing is clear. This explosive interview has reopened ancient history and sparked fierce debates that we all thought were settled a long time ago. Some rap fans feel certain stories should remain buried, while others argue these raw behind-the-scenes accounts are an essential piece of hip-hop history that deserves to be documented. The discussion has absolutely exploded, and now everyone has a unique take. What do you think? Leave a comment below and subscribe for more into a legendary era of hip-hop. Or did this sit down cross the line by airing private secrets? Let us know in the comments, because this story is blowing up our feed. If you love our coverage, make sure to like, subscribe, and share for more rap stories, viral drama, and industry secrets. Ring that bell so you never miss a headline. Appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next broadcast.